Saturday at the WBO Boxing Arena. But for now, let's have a chit chat and let's delve into how the WBO Africa Super Lightweight Championship fared up between Faisal Abubakar and Abdul Zuko. That fight was very, very interesting, thrilling, drama, mouth-watering moment. You can name it all. Faisal Abubakar and Abdul Zuko. Let's enjoy.
He has a longer reach and he's the taller of the two. And there goes Abdul Zuko trying to get him with some flurry. And Faisal also trying to get in the range and land at will. This is the first round and boxers tend to download their opponents. And there goes Abdul Zuko getting some punches, getting through there. Two combinations there from Abdul Zuko. Wow, misses there from Abdul Zuko. And obviously Faisal, left jab there from Faisal. Obviously Faisal will look to stretch his jab to keep good right hand there from Faisal Abubakar. That snapped the head of Abdul. And there he goes again, but he misses where Abdul tries to counter with a left. And look at Abdul Zuko looking closely on his opponent, Faisal Abubakar. Faisal looking to defend his title, whereas Abdul Zuko, all the way from Tanzania and Ghana land, looking to see if he can cause some upset here in the Ghana land. But Faisal Abubakar is going to be the obstacle in front of him. Can he do it? Or it's going to be Faisal who is going to show the man from Tanzania how Ghana boxers are durable. It's all up for grabs, whereas Faisal Abubakar tend to use his jab, whereas Abdul Zuko gets in with some flurry of punches there. Go downstairs of Faisal Abubakar. They tend to go in for the inside. Good uppercut there from Faisal Abubakar. Snaps the head back of Abdul Zuko. Now Faisal tends to take the fight to Abdul Zuko. Abdul Zuko tends to get in with his left, but didn't really trouble Faisal. Faisal looking closely on his opponent there. Abdul trying to search for the body snatch there, but Faisal read him well. Now it's Faisal who is doing the chase on Abdul Zuko, getting with a left jab there from Faisal. And there goes Abdul trying to trade there. He gets in flurry of punches there. Well, left hand there from Faisal, but Abdul also gets some flurry on his own there. And there goes Faisal, turning to get his right hand there on Abdul Zuko. And there goes the bell. Wow, what a way to start off with the first round between Abdul Zuko and Faisal Abubakar. This is going to be some firepower between these two boxers. Prince.
WBO Africa Super Lightweight Championship knocking at your doorsteps, and it's Faisal Abubakar. I see an inscription in front of his trunks, Akbar, and I'm sure that he's got his local support here. But Zuko hasn't fared that badly in the first round. He's taken in some punishment and he's dished out a few as well. But Faisal has been up to the mark, keeping his guard up as always, protecting his midsection. Zuko tries to work on it, he tries to cut through with the uppercut. Of course, announcing their presence in this first round, clearly the indications are that these boxers would want to go a long way.
Here we go, the second round between Abdul Zuko and Faisal Abubakar. This is 12 rounds, WBO Africa Super Lightweight Championship. Whereas Abdul Zuko starting strong there, getting flurry of punches, getting through there, but they're getting for the clinch. And Faisal who starts to get his jab, but referee Rasmus getting have a word up to Abdul Zuko. Faisal looking for the right hand, but Abdul Zuko swiftly swerves him there. Abdul Zuko backing up the ropes there. Let's see Faisal gets in with an uppercut there with a right hand from Faisal. Faisal looking to stamp his authority, but Faisal looking for the right hand, but Abdul just parried that with his left hand, and Abdul trying to get close and both fighters tending to use the jab, and that is Faisal complaining of clash of hands from Abdul Zuko, but he needs to keep his focus. This is a title fight. Left hand from Faisal chasing his opponent Abdul Zuko on, and there they go again, and Abdul Zuko tending to try to get some flurry getting through there, but not really getting the connection he's searching for. Faisal tending to use his jab, but that was a left hand there from Abdul on Faisal. Missed there from Faisal. Good head movement there from Abdul Zuko. Tending to move more and tending to hop on his feet, not getting that flat-footed nature, and that's gonna make things a bit difficult for Faisal to get him. And that is two boxers trading, and Abdul is telling Faisal to come on, and Faisal, is he gonna fall for it? Left hand from Faisal on Abdul. Abdul trying to set the leg, but he misses. Faisal Abubakar searching for the right hand, but Abdul, good head movement there from him. Faisal trying to launch with the right hand, but there they go, trading at each other. Left hand from Faisal on Abdul. And there goes the bell to end the second round. Seems that Abdul Zuko trying to get some strategy getting into this fight, and I think Faisal Abubakar's corner need to tell him to be focused. He needs to be focused. Use your jab, use your jab, use your jab to create the openings. Then you can follow up with a 1 and 2 combinations, and look at Abdul Zuko getting some flurry of punches, getting through there. Prince Abdul wants to make the fight a slugfest, but I don't think Faisal Abubakar should fall for it. He should keep his jab, and going for the 1-2 combinations. Prince
Zuko has been quick after the first round. He's noticed the strategy of Faisal, and so you realize that he started bouncing around in the ring. He is going to do a lot of that to frustrate Faisal, in order to Faisal to get a little bit more adept to his style of boxing, and then we will see him open up. He's clearly shown that he's got some big body punches as well as shots to the head. Faisal will find it difficult to keep up with him, but if he stops and goes in for the slugfest, trust Faisal to deal with him. But if he starts to bounce around like he did towards the latter stages of the last round, it will prove difficult for Faisal to hit him on target. Wild miss there from Faisal.
Well said from Prince. Let's get into the third round between Faisal Abubakar and Abdul Zuko. And Faisal tending to use his left jab there. Got a left cross there, and Abdul is telling him to come on. Abdul backing up the ropes there, tending to bait. Right hand there from Abdul Zuko, which snapped the head back of Faisal. Left hand again from Faisal, and referee Erasmus get in, and he's giving a stand warning on Abdul Zuko, telling him not to use his elbow. But right hand there from Abdul Zuko, well, Faisal needs to be careful there. Abdul wanting to trade wild there. Faisal needs to keep his focus. As I said earlier on, Abdul Zuko is a man who wants to come to the Ghana land and cause an upset. He's saying that he's coming to show Ghana what it means when they say Kasongo, and he's a man from Tanzania, Abdul Zuko, showing some glimpses. The man on your screen there, Abdul Zuko. And alright, the fight resumes, and Abdul starts strong again there. Uppercut misses from Abdul. and Faisal tend to go back to his default jab, and I think that is key to win him the fight. Use your jab and set up the openings. Good one there from Faisal. There he goes with the right hand, and Abdul is telling him to come on, and Faisal turning to take the fight on Abdul Zuko. Abdul Zuko, body language seems he's a little bit gassing out a bit from Abdul Zuko, tending to breathe heavily. Abdul Zuko, and backing up the ropes there, Abdul Zuko and Faisal wanting to catch him there, but Abdul straight from the ropes and left jab there from Faisal. Then Faisal keep marching on his opponent. Right hand from Faisal Abubakar, and a right hand from Faisal, another right hand, left hand from Faisal, right hand from Faisal Abubakar, and it's unloading on Abdul Zuko. Body punch there from Faisal. Faisal unloading, much punches on Abdul, and left hand from Abdul. And there go Faisal, and it seems there is blood coming from Abdul Zuko's nose, and you can see here Abdul wanted to trade, and Faisal wanted to trade with him, and there go some good head movement there from Abdul, but Faisal still keeps marching on. Left jab from Faisal. Uppercut, misses from.
You're right. Fortunately, he will be saved by the bell so he can get treatment. But Zuko is bleeding from the nose.
And there goes the bell to end. And Buko Boxing Arena erupts. They're loving what they are watching here. They're loving what they are witnessing here. And see, they're all happy. Oh my goodness. This is what boxing brings about. Very entertaining. Very highly spirited. And look here. This is where Abdul Zuko caught Faisal Abubakar unaware there, and referee steps in. But look, uppercut there from Faisal Abubakar, and look at the body language from Abdul backing up the ropes there, and Faisal noticed that he gets in with a flurry of punches, and Abdul backing up the ropes there. It's all about the unloading nature of Faisal Abubakar on Abdul Zuko. And this is where Abdul Zuko had a taste of Faisal Abubakar power punches that had him getting some blood coming from his nostrils. Oh, and that is it. Faisal Abubakar wins the bout. Abdul Zuko couldn't wake up to continue the other rounds, and it is the man from Ghana, Faisal Abubakar, aka Poncho Power, and also known as Agba, brought that power on Abdul Zuko, the man on your screen there. Faisal Abubakar, he said that he's gonna do it, and he did exactly that. The man from Tanzania came here to cause an upset, but the man from Ghana here told his friends that, you know what, I know how to deal with this particular man. Faisal Abubakar makes it again 19-0, making sure retaining and defending his WBO Africa Super Lightweight title for Ghana. Faisal Abubakar did it once again.
This time around, come here, yele rough, yele rough, yele rough, don't get yele rough, yele rough, yele rough. Why am you know? Why am you know? Why am you this year? Why am you know? Okay, back. No,
that is how Faisal Abubakar stopped Abdul Zuko from Tanzania to retain and defend his WBO Africa super lightweight title there. It was so fun to see how Faisal Abubakar was able to stop his opponent there from Tanzania. Abdul Zuko obviously came into the bout looking for a way to strategize himself so that he can cause an upset on Faisal Abubakar. But Faisal Abubakar also noticed that and he changed his strategy, his tactics getting into the game. He made Abdul Zuko felt his power as Zuko was bleeding from his nose. That was where and at the point where he noticed and felt the power from Faisal Abubakar. I'm sure that for now we're going there to see how the ring announcer announced it, saying how Faisal Abubakar defend his title and even the scorecard and even the verdicts there. So let's head there and let's hear from Mohamed Amin Lamte.
Knockouts presenting to you still the WBO Africa Super Lightweight Champion from Ghana, from Sabon Zongo here in Accra, presenting to you the boxer who is also known to be called the Punch of Power, Faisal Abubakar.
I'm too good to be bad. Bondaro Production.
Sharaf Mahama would help us with the current moment, supported by Samir Kaptan and the GBA President Samir Kaptan. Join us, Samir Kaptan, join us over there. Thank you very much. Now, this is the man who has defended his title. Now, Faisal, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How do you feel?
You know, I'm feeling good. It's like I'm just starting warming up and I saw my opponent can't continue the round again.
Really? So, since Samir Kaptan, Sharaf Mahama, you will see a lot of dignitaries from Nigeria and Europe. How do you feel fighting before them?
You know, seeing this kind of big men, make me feel extra strength to, be in this ring to exhibit what my coaches teach me.
But your opponent is a very good boxer.
Yeah, it's a very good boxer.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Manager, what do you have to say?
Oh, he had an excellent fight. Me watching the fight, I realized he was now warming up and the boxer was rushing.
Okay. Yeah. So you're happy? So what should we expect from your boxer?
I'm expecting an international world title.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, Sharaf, you really enjoyed this fight.
Yeah. A very entertaining fight, My brother from Tanzania did so well. Unfortunately, he came up short. And congrats to my brother here as well.
Sharaf, you have visitors from Europe, from Nigeria joining you here. How do you feel?
I feel great. Very soon, Ghana will be the hub of boxing. We're going to attract people from all over the world to come to Ghana to watch good boxing fights.
Now, finally, a boxer came here to challenge your boxer, Abubakar, recently in UK. What is the message you have from him?
Abubakar will be back soon and he will have the biggest fight in Ghana.
Okay, shall we put our hands together for Sharaf Mahama? He is the son of the President of the Republic of Ghana. He is a great man. Now, Zugo, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
How do you feel?
I feel Alhamdulillah because Allah is planning this. See, we plan and Allah is plan. So Alhamdulillah. Because in the Faisal, in the understanding, me, I am in Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, I get Ramadan.
Faisal is also a Muslim.
Yes, he's a Muslim. But me, before this fight, I tell Faisal, that fight is not best for me because I am in Ramadan.
Okay, no problem. I know you come back again. You come back again.
Yeah, inshallah, it's God wishes. Okay. And you see my hand. See.
We'll fight in a super middleweight contest. We're having the Lali Mileji.
Welcome to Ghana Month. Friday, pass by say, better be beer, fala. Enjoy up to 50% discounts on all our items. This 7th of March, all roads will lead to Max Buy stores nationwide. Come get your mobile phones, ACs, washing machines, home appliances, Edify speaker, Swallow maker, and many more. Up to half price. Let's celebrate Ghana Month in grand style. For further enquiries, call us on 0594 091 122. You can also visit www.maxbuy.com.gh. It's Max Buy Day. Bibia Eyefala. Dear Mobisano, yeah, dear Bremo. I feel buy now, pay later. Every TV near air condition. So, we bet you to TV near air condition. I'm only getting it.
Welcome back from that break there, and my name is Nani Altichi Anderson. This is Boxing Arena Show on Max Television, and before some minutes you saw Faisal Abubakar and Abdul Azuku, one entertaining matchup where the Ghanaian international Faisal Abubakar was able to stop Abdul Azuku in round 4 via a TKO technical knockout there, where Abdul Zuko couldn't reply to the bell, getting into the next round there, making Faisal Abubakar the man of the moment in defending his WBO Africa super lightweight title there. But I have Bernard joining us via Zoom today. He couldn't make it up here, but I have him on Zoom there. Bernard, if you can hear me, unmute yourself so that we can have some talk on the boxing that happened just the past yesterday, so that we can also see how Faisal Abubakar was able to deliver that knockout there on Abdul Zuko. I saw you in the entourage for Faisal Abubakar. I'm sure you have something to share with us. Bernard.
Hi, good morning to you and good morning to our cherished viewers who always stay glued to their seats to help us contribute to Ghana boxing. I mean, it was a great night. You can see it, and all us can testify that this was a great bout. I mean, Faisal Abubakar, the Shatawali of Zongo community that they call him, was so great at that particular time. And you could see that all his statistics and how he goes by his jab and his left hook and then the uppercut also moving smoothly. I mean, he has a very serious right hand, and that is what is too devastating, and that is what is causing the opponent not to stand. And we believe that this is a testing ground for Abubakar, because he wants to go ahead and waited in the WBO, being a 4th contender or a 6th contender. So we believe that smoothly we'll get there.
But Bernard, I want you to get in through more into how the fight was able to get to the round 4 there, and Faisal Abubakar was able to stop Abdul Azuku. You've been a trainer, you've been a coach, and you know the nitty-gritties of how a boxer will get into the fights in the various rounds. What do you think Faisal Abubakar noticed there, particularly in the round 3, and he started to deliver those power punches on Abdul Zuko? Obviously, Abdul Zuko also came in to fight, but what did a trick for Faisal Abubakar on Abdul Zuko, particularly in the 3rd round? Bernard.
Well, NY, one particular thing that we do in Chasquatty Boxing Gym is that when you come in the 1st round, every pugilist or the opponent has equal strength like you. And so you need to study your opponent very well and then be touching some target areas and see whether it could stand. So in the 1st round, we realized that he's been throwing some overhead right and other things. So we asked Abubakar that, look, Abubakar, just stay cool, rely on your jab and let your jabs keep going. And so in the first round, the second round, we realized that, look, Abubakar, this is the time. We have realized that when we touch him with the uppercut, he shows some signs. And so you need to hammer there very well and then work on your straight left and right. That is what we call the 1 and 2. And the uppercut that we have teamed as the 6. And so you should go the 1 and 2 and the 6. And not really work for him. And you know, when you are throwing a punch and your opponent is not retaliating or throwing back, it gives you more edge and more energy.
All right, so that was Bernardo there giving us some nitty-gritties of how Faisal Abubakar was able to download his opponent in the early rounds and he stopped him in the round 4. But I still have Bernard there. Bernard, if you can hear me, kindly continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, so as you rightly said, he was able to download most of his opponent's heavier punches and then believe that, look, this is a punch. So when he came in the
all right, so we will be getting Bernard shortly, and we'll see how Bernard will also join me so that we can also dissect another big fight that happened on that night on the Shishishi Fight Night card. Derek Show Love. He also took out to mop the floor with Henry Imam, aka Junior Assassin. But the man on your screen there is Derek Quay Show Love, and he entered into the ring there and look hot at his entourage there, also making sure that I believe in their boxer is going to do a good job there. So, Bernard, let me come to you once again and let's talk about this fight that happened to be a super welterweight contest which was scheduled for 10 rounds. Derek Quay, aka Show Love, and Henry Mam, popularly known as the Junior Assassin. Bernard, take us through a little bit of this fight. How did you see it? Your general view on that?
Well, anyway, we normally we keep saying that when we give these boxers the good platform and be able to pay them well, we will see boxing. And yesterday or this morning, we saw a very good boxing skills exhibited by both pugilists, and we saw Beaver and Betty Beer version of Derek Quay and then the Assassin, and we could see that the Assassin is a replica of Beaver, and then the Betty Beer is a replica of Show Love. So Show Love comes in with a lot of dynamite, trying to stop his opponent, but technically and tactically, his opponent, the Assassin or Henry Mam, was keeping it cool and relying on his jab, and then he's coming back with his back foot. Make sure that he makes sure that he always deliver on his back foot, and that is what brings the magic, and that is what make it clear for him to take over the fight. So he was able to move everything.
So Bernard was getting through there, and he's telling us how Henry Mam was able to get through with Derek Quay. But Bernard, if you can hear me, obviously this fight was fought this morning as around 4:30 a.m. People were still there wanting to witness how Henry Mam and Derek Quay is going to fare up. But Bernard, let me come to you. At some point in time, the tension and the frustration nature of the two boxers came at bear, and we saw Derek Quay and Henry Mam. There was a hustle and tussle and even wrestling at some part where Henry Mam carried Derek Quay from the ring there. Bernard, let me come straight to you and let's talk about that point where the frustration nature gets in and boxers tend to do that kind of wrestling nature in the ring there. So, okay, viewers, this is where I'm talking about. And look, this is where Henry Mam had to carry Derek Quay and just threw him off the ring there. Even referee Shadrach was telling him to keep it cool, but I mean, Henry Mam was so frustrated and he just carried his opponent and threw him off of the ring there. Bernardo, I mean, let me come to you and let's talk about this. This is highly unacceptable in the sport of boxing, but let's throw more light on it, on what can be prevented and even what needs to be done for the boxers to even know that these type of things, when it's done, you can't be disqualified. Bernardo.
Well, NY, it is a time that we need to educate our boxers well. Some of the coaches and then the boxing lovers anticipated that this thing could happen because we know how the tension and how the fight has been. And so we believe that these things will happen. And we need to talk to our coaches. I mean, let's have a workshop, educate our coaches as well as our boxers too as well. And if this thing happen internationally, it's going to be a disqualification. And we see no reason the referee do not stand on his point and make it a disqualification. And you saw there was a biting too. And when he complained, the referee did not even deduct any mark. I was expecting that once you saw the mark, you saw that there has been a bite, then you need to make a deduction. But he did not make any deduction. And when this also happened, the wrestling one that he chose his opponent out of the ring.
Quay bit Henry Mam, and that is what infuriated that. I mean, frustration nature from Henry Mam to just throw Derek Quay off the ring, and these are some of the things that is going to spark that kind of frustration nature and even make that tension build up there. And Derek Quay there complaining, telling the referee that he's having issues, wincing in pain there. Obviously, he's going to wince in pain because if you get carried like that off from the ring, obviously your landing is going to be an awkward one. But Bernard, let me come to you. Could it be that the biting from Derek Quay on Henry Mam sparked all these frustration from Henry Mam to get Derek Quay throwing off the ring? Or was it, there was a point you saw that Derek Quay used his elbow to push Henry Mam backing up the ropes there?
Exactly.
Could it be those two moments, or could it be the elbow pushing, or it could be the bite that sparked? I want to know which of them sparked it into that frustration nature of Henry Mam throwing Derek Quay off the ring like that.
Now, the points you have listed are also the building up. So these are the things that build up the frustration. Because in the beginning, you could see that there was a rough tactics from both pugilists, and you could see that Derek Quay's own was obvious, and he normally push and push. Sometimes it comes with his head, and these are the things that you, as a referee, you must be cautious of and make sure that these things will not happen. Otherwise, it will build up the frustration, and moving forward in round by round, you will see the end results. And that is what really happens, and that is what we saw at I think round 7. That is what we saw. The frustration built up, and it got to a time that they cannot even hold it again. And so, as a referee, when you see such frustration coming, or when you see such things building up, you need to put some measures in place so that these boxers will not find themselves wrestling in the ring and causing a lot of fouls that is unacceptable. And one thing is that they came in the ring making sure that they win. And when you see Derek Quay, he always tried to push with his head, using his elbow, using all kind of things. And for me, and the referee could have cautioned him or warned him so that he minimized all these things. And when there's a lot of break in this grown-up fight, this broadened-out fight, it brings a lot of frustration.
Heard from Bernardo there and telling us how the fight, the tension, and even the building up of the frustration between these two boxers, Henry Mam and Derek Quay. I mean, referee Shadrach Quay must have some difficult moments trying to separate these two boxers, because this matchup was tipped of one of the pick, and that is how the tension rose there as of around 4:30 a.m. People, spectators, and even boxing enthusiasts and lovers were still in the arena seated to witness Henry Mam and Derek Quay. But I'll let the viewers to also have a feel of how this fight turned out to be. And you know, Henry Mam there on your screen, Junior Assassin, and you know, he just developed a strategy of getting into this particular bout. And Derek Quay also, obviously, Bernard has told us that Derek Quay happened to be better BF, and Henry Mam is going to be the Beaver. But Coach Bernardo, I want to come to you again, and I want us to profile us on Henry Mam. Maybe some people don't know who Henry Mam is, but for me, I know that he's been in the Black Bombers before. But Coach, I want you to profile Henry Mam so that people can also know who we are talking about. Henry Mam, Junior Assassin. Coach Bernardo.
Yeah, and the man has been in the game for long. He also started as a juvenile boxer, pulled up to become one of the best in Greater Accra as a Greater Accra and boxer. He also brought up to become one of the Bombers. And recently, if you can recall, and in our African Games, he took, I think, silver for Ghana. And so it is someone who has gone through the mill, and he knows what he should do. So it is very experienced in amateur stage. And likewise, Derek has never been in the amateur very well, but Henry Mam is one of the great boxers who have been in the Greater Accra as well as the national team, the Black Bombers. So he knows a lot, and he has won most of his great fights in the Bukom boxing arena and X-World. So he has a lot of experience coming into this game. Most of people don't even know him well, but we, most boxer coaches, as well as the lovers of boxing, knows him very well. You know, when you started as a juvenile, your foundation becomes so solid. And when you brought up in the professional level, it becomes solidified. And so it becomes difficult for someone who has not been in amateur for long to overcome you. And that is what technically he used against Derek. So you see that the fight was technically won by Henry Mam, because he was technically good. He knows what to do. And I mean, for me, his corner, Coach Akanete, was also an experienced coach who has also been with him in the national team. So he knows him very well, as well as not forgotten that the Quay coach too is one of the experienced coaches too as well. So this experience will crash, and then we will see what where the power lies, or who has been favored by God.
Right, so experience meet, and we're gonna see where the power lies there. But viewers, Henry Mam and Derek Quay was one of the pick, and a lot of people wanted to witness how the fight is gonna fare out to be. But we have this round where referee Shadrach Quay is speaking to both boxers. Let's just head there and have a feel of what Henry Mam and Derek Quay was all about.
Trying to Henry Mam showing right hand there from Derek Quay, and Henry Mam took it well there, and referee Ashadrak comes in, and referee steps in and is telling Shadrach Quay, telling Derek Quay and Henry Mam to keep it clean. They seem to be rushing and hustling and tussling, making it a dirty fight. But Derek Quay wants to fight from the inside, and Henry Mam and let's see how it's gonna fare up. Jab there from Henry Mam. Right hand jab from Henry Mam as Derek was stepping in. And there goes the clinch, but Shadrach Quay telling them to keep it clean there. Both boxers are so much into this fight. Derek Quay and Henry Mam. Henry Mam is there from Derek Quay, and Henry Mam noticed that, posing for the clinch. He knows the tactics from Derek Quay. Derek Quay always wants to launch in without hefty attacks, and
so that is how the atmosphere was between Henry Mam and Derek Quay. Highly anticipated about there between these two boxers that they fared up in the super welterweight division there. But the numbers on the screen there, you can also call 0558462 How did you feel? How was the matchup? The pairings, and what was the pick of the fights that happened on the Shishishi fight night? So you can also join us. You can share your view on that. But another thing that I need to do is there is a new sheriff in town, and I'm talking about Daniel Otu was able to defeat Kan Kote Nikwe in the National Super Bantamweight Championship that happened to travel the 12 rounds there. So you can call us so that you can also share your view there. But this is Derek Quay still wincing in pain there, complaining to the referee that Henry Mam gave him a low blow there. But Henry Mam and Derek Quay fight couldn't finish the way we expected in the round 7, and there was some misunderstanding where we were looking forward to see the army men calming things down, but we saw that the referee and the judges couldn't continue with the fight, looking at the intensity of that bout there. But I have my first caller on the line, Ramadan. Ramadan, let me hear you out. Rahman, let me hear you out.
From my perspective, or from my view of boxing, I think Rumam was winning the fight, despite everything that happened between both supporters.
Right.
They have to go to the scorecard, I think.
They should have gone to the scorecard.
Yes, please.
Okay. Rahman, thank you very much. So Rahman is saying that despite what happened, he feels Henry Mam was the one winning the fight there. But obviously, we should also talk to the fans. This is a beautiful sport we want to see and want to witness. But what I don't like and what I dislike is throwing things into the ring, and that is going to spoil the beauty of the game. We all want to see what will happen between Henry Mam and Derek Quay and even other interesting matchup. But if we don't have that patience enough to see the fight traveling the distance and we start to throw things into the ring, that is going to spoil the beauty of the sport boxing. So this is me telling our fans out there that when we get into the Buko boxing arena, whatever being the case, let's just sit and have patience and let's see how the fight will travel. Now I have Abbas from Fadama. Let me hear you out, Abbas.
Hello.
Hello, Abbas. Let's hear you out.
Yeah.
Abbas, let's hear you out. What do you have for us concerning the fight that happened?
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched this fight yesterday evening. I watched this fight yesterday evening.
Okay, so tell us what you want to also share with us.
I don't really know their name, but it was the short guy. I think I'll go for the short guy.
Oh, okay. So you go for the short guy, that is Derek Quay.
Yeah.
You felt that he was winning the bout?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Abbas. Abbas is also saying that he felt Derek Quay was the one winning the bout. So it was Derek Quay versus Henry Amam. That was the bout that you witnessed there. But as I was saying, that Daniel Otu was able to defeat Kan Kote Nikwe, handing Kan Kote Nikwe his first loss in his boxing career when he turned pro there. That was a national super bantamweight championship with when the 12 rounds. By the end of the fight, the 3 judges gave it 94-95, 96-94, and the third judge 94-95, making it a split decision in favor of Daniel Otu. And now Daniel Otu is the new national super bantamweight champion there, defeating Kan Kote Nikwe there. So you can also call us, you share your view, what you saw during the fight. So let me go to Kaswa. I have Steven on the line. Steve, let's hear you out. Steven from Kaswa, with you.
Yeah. The match I watched yesterday, the short guy, he wasn't having the experience to fight. Because you could see how he pushed Henry. Man, this is not wrestling. You need to be tactical. If you are going with this thing, a shot, you need to go with a shot. But sometimes you can watch that he's just pushing, using his head and other stuff. I don't know whether he's from that area. That's the main reason why he was getting a lot of support. And but what he was doing wasn't a boxing. It was rather wrestling. I would have even got he bite the other guy. What was the referee doing?
Okay, Steve. Okay.
What was the referee doing when somebody bites? If it was a football, you know what would have happened. It would rather consider red card or anything. But he stood up for them to continue the fight. If it was me, I would have even rather go with the wrestling type of boxing.
Stephen, it's all the sport of boxing. We don't need to induct wrestling into the sport boxing. I understand if you're in the shoes of Henry Mam, yes, you feel that frustration and nature are there, but obviously let's all have the beauty of the sport boxing there. I still have Bernardo with me. Bernard, our time is almost up. Let's have your closing remarks. So far, the Shishisha fight night, how did you see your general view on the fight cards that happened?
And the Shishishi really makes headway, where you could see that most of the fights are Shishishi, and it was a great night. We all enjoyed it, and as you can see, as you rightly said, we left there around 5:30 to 6, making sure that we see everything that goes on. But one thing I want to tell our boxing lovers, that good things is coming to boxing, because we have a lot of great dignitaries in that arena. Talking about Sharaf Mahama, we have the coach of the IBF heavyweight champion, Daniel Dubois, also present, Ambassador Ray Kwaku. A lot of great dignitaries were there. That these are the people that can speak for us. These are the people that can bring a lot of money into the game. And so we appeal to the supporters too as well, that they should exercise constraint, exercise patience when such things or when there's some understanding. Because we want to get a world champion. So they should support us get a world champion, not to throw in some rubbers, some things in the ring to frustrate the boxers, to frustrate the referees, to frustrate the dignitaries to over there. So we are appealing to them to put a stop to it, and they should look forward to promote Ghana boxing.
Thank you very much, Bernardo. So this was the fight I was talking about, Quay and Quay and Daniel Otu, where Daniel Otu was able to defeat Quay. And Quay is the boxer in the black trunks with a $sign behind him, and Daniel Otu is the boxer and the whites and gold trunks are there. It was a beautiful matchup there, and I'm sure Quay has had some experience there, having his first defeat in his boxing career. Hopefully next week we'll have an extension on that particular bout so that we can dissect and analyze how things went between Quay and Daniel Otu there. A foreign bout is going to see Natasha Jonas taking on Lauren Price, and that is going to be to unify the WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight championship between these two female boxers. It's going to be a 10th round in London there. Before I go, let me do this quick one. The Freedom Jams was a beautiful one and was a successful one. And I want to take this initiative to thank each and every one in IMAX and media, making sure everyone that played their part and their role, they did a marvelous job there. And for you people that came around to also join us to celebrate the Freedom Jams, we say thank you very much, and we're looking forward to be doing this more so that you can join us. My name is Nane Altechi Anderson. Until then, bye for now.
Sports, entertainment, and more.
Mamu akwaba biem give us about industries and minimum kasa nti o hwemia na achese oyade asibetimi etukura ye ndu na hama enu kama Dr. Solomon Kwabi na dokotafo ayade abadwama nso a ye tono ma yese ayade fie nye wode nti bema ko adwuma kora na apon a also ko fie no na afei nyedua ase ne nsedwase na ode ehwa ye fie sonse yade no a etete won wuntimi kura ne obi emo ho enkomo hawa etete mema ne bi do no wo fom ntumi nyadwuma se de se ne fata na ya ebinum kura de etete wo mo ani koku